contributed to this bill from the time it was first read in this House. I'd like to thank the committee, especially the chairperson and the committee of labor, for the intense engagement that we had when I appeared before them, and even for the support of this bill, Madam Speaker, having known that they have other amendments on the public service matters, but they really gave this consideration. I'd also like to thank the Office of the clerk through table office and everybody else, the legal person who really helped me with this amendment. And I'd also like to thank Honorable Dr. Nyikal, Honorable Geshimo, Honorable Sunkuli, who looked at the bill and came up with the amendments. There are many members here who have worked with me, Honorable Timothy, Honorable Rene, and others, Madam Speaker, who took keen interest on this bill. I do really pray, because I know that there were regulations on how we treated interns, or how we treat interns in the public sector. But now with the legal document, the law, I am certain that the interns will be treated better in this country, and they will also gain the requisite experience as they go on with their work. And I also thank Dr. Nyikal for bringing in the issue of other interns, like the teachers, and also those in the medical field. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, and thank you to everyone.
Thank you. The Honorable Dr. Nyikal.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is actually a very important bill, because the issue of interns actually had become abusive in some ways. A lot of young people were taken into institutions. Sometimes they actually did meaningful work, and sometimes there was no regulation. They spent time there. At the end of it, you couldn't be quite certain what they did. But more importantly, Madam Speaker, this bill with amendments has attempted to actually put a very clear distinction between internship that we normally expose young people to, so that they get experience and so that they acquire some skills, from interns who, apart from getting experience and acquiring some skill, actually require to be by regulatory authorities to be registered. So now we have something guiding how they're registered, guiding how they're remunerated. But I'm sure that as we implement this, and I noticed that the Cabinet Secretary has been given the authority to do regulations, we'll actually find a lot of areas that need to be strengthened. In fact, after some time, I presume that we may even have to have amendments, particularly in areas that deal with professional experience pre-registration. Because many times you have heard people saying these are students and they are not workers, and therefore they cannot be remunerated properly. This bill is taking us in that direction. With that, I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mayaka, would you like to comment? I can see you have
thank you, Honorable
hit
Speaker.
the intervention button.
Yes, I did, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. I also just want to take this time to thank the Honorable Lesuda for this very progressive bill. And Honorable Speaker, this is one space that has not really had proper structures. And this bill offers that for especially in the public sector, and to those who will be taking internship work, especially after college and university. Honorable Speaker, speaking from experience, having gone through internship in the private sector and seeing the difference with what is experienced in the public sector, I think this is a very a good direction that we're taking as a House. And for me, it just gives me joy that we're able to legislate and bring structures to institutions and spaces that did not have that in the first place. So many thanks to the Honorable Lesuda for this and all the members who contributed to enriching it. I thank you.
The Honorable Gishimo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm also happy for the youth of this nation, millions of the youth whose now internship now has a legal framework. Previously, it was just loosely handled, but with the leadership and of Honorable Lesunda, this House has really considered the youth of this nation, and I hope that this law will be assented into an act of parliament very soon, so that thereafter we can follow up with the relevant CS for the purposes of regulations that will enable or actually make some of the clauses actually actualize them and operationalize them. So, Honorable Speaker, happy for Honorable Lesunda, the House at large, and all the members who took interest in this bill for the benefit of the millions of youth in this country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Ken Chonga, Chairman Labour.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Going by the various amendments that have been made to this bill, we are seeing a light where even the interns are guided. Because initially, there was no proper structure of how things are being handled. And to a greater extent, it was even encouraging abuse in terms of the timelines, of the working conditions among the interns. So I really take this opportunity as well to congratulate my sister, Honorable Lesuda, having keenly looked into it so that it can shed light that all the government organs that are engaging interns can be guided by the policy as has been laid today. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and congratulations to Madam Lesuda.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put a question that the Public Service Internship Bill, National Assembly Bill number 63 of 2022, be now read a third time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to make provision for internship of college and university graduates in the public sector, to provide for hands-on training and acquisition of skills by graduates and for connected purposes. Order number 9, the Environmental Professionals Institute of Kenya Bill, National Assembly Bill number 36 of 2024. Resumption of debate.
Thank you. For this order, the Honorable George Gachagua. You had finished moving? Okay. Do you have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Okay.
I beg Honorable Timothy to second it.
Honorable Timothy.
Yeah.
Timothy Toroitich, please go ahead and second this bill.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to second this bill. From the onset, Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank the Honorable Member, Honorable Gachagua, for such a progressive bill that he has brought to this Parliament. Honorable Speaker, this bill seeks to provide a comprehensive legal framework to establish the Environmental Professionals Institute of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, this of course will in turn promote professionalism within the environmental profession within this country. Honorable Speaker, for any progressive body in this country, there must be a proper framework guiding it. Honorable Speaker, we have several professional bodies in this country. We have the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Board Council. We have the Institute of Human Resource Management. Honorable Speaker, we have the Nursing Council in this country. We have the Law Society of Kenya, in which I am proudly a member of. Honorable Speaker, we have Kenya Institute of Supplies Management. So many institutions that are properly regulated in this country. Honorable Speaker, we have quacks or masqueraders who are pretending to be professionals in certain bodies that they are not. Honorable Speaker, and therefore I think the Honorable George Gachagua has given life to matters to do with the environment in this country. Honorable Speaker, many people outside there are running kiosks, pretending to give expertise in matters to do with environment. Honorable Speaker, I have run through this particular piece of legislation, and it provides clearly on what should happen in case there is an issue of negligence or malpractice insofar as environmental matters are concerned. Honorable Speaker, I just wish to run through it in a few minutes. Honorable Speaker, under clause 4 of the bill, dealing with functions of the institute. Honorable Speaker, it provides that this institute shall register, regulate, and exercise general supervision and control over professional development and practice of environmental professionals in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, it registers those professionals. Number 2, it promotes research. Honorable Speaker, we are in an era where we are fighting climate change, and therefore we need research to be conducted. Honorable Speaker, the other day I was seeing Naivasha. Naivasha, Honorable Speaker, is about to be swallowed by the lake Naivasha. Most hotels have been swallowed, and therefore we need expertise. We need to promote research in matters environment in this country, so that we want to know reasons as to why River Lake Naivasha is rising, water levels in Baringo, in Bogoria are rising. So if we have this particular body, we will be able to invest more money in research. And Honorable Speaker, it will of course aid in matters to do with environment protection. Honorable Speaker, NEMA sometimes has been running alone. So we need a body that will work closely with NEMA so that they regulate those particular individuals. Honorable Speaker, as I sum up, there is a very important chapter in part 4, clause 31, on how to deal with professional misconduct insofar as environmental matters is concerned. Honorable Speaker, that particular clause provides that a person registered as an environmental professional commits an act of professional misconduct if such a person fails to follow the laid down procedures. Number 2, Honorable Speaker, commits gross negligence in the conduct of professional practice. Number 3, Honorable Speaker, releases information that is false. Of course, the other one is performs an assignment which is beyond the scope of his professional competency. Honorable Speaker, what are the consequences? The law provides that a person who has committed such an offense, 1, is served with a letter of admonishment. Number 2, is of course removed from the register. Honorable Speaker, the reason as to why such bodies as LSK, as Engineers Board of Kenya are performing so well is because they have a legislation that is very comprehensive, that gives limits as to the extent to which a professional may act. Honorable Speaker, even the act of cancelling, of issuing a practicing certificate to environmental experts is very important. Honorable Speaker, I thank the Honorable Member, Honorable George Gachagua. I rise to support and second the letter, the spirit, and the intent of this particular law, which is the Environmental Professional Institute Bill of Kenya 2024. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I second.
Thank you. Oh, members, after such an eloquent moving and seconding, I now propose the question that the Environmental Professionals Institute of Kenya Bill, National Assembly Bill number 36 of 2024, be now read a second time. On my board, I can see the Honorable Kichimu, the Honorable Sane, followed by the Honorable Mayaka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the environment is a very wide sector, so wide with a multitude of professionals practicing within the realm of the environment. Mr. Speaker, the manner in which this sector has been handled was so chaotic, ad hoc, with a lot of unprofessional things done around the environment, Mr. Speaker. How environmental audits were done wasn't satisfactory. How environmental impact assessment, they were merely paperwork, then the real professional, it didn't give the professional test so required for such a sensitive aspect of the human life. Mr. Speaker, human life entirely revolves mostly on the environment, how we handle and manage the environment. We can't be careless about it. So this bill is a wonderful bill, a bill that attempts to bring all professionals into one house, to create the right human pool so that it is a regulator for the first time. NEMA has been doing this. It is the focal point for all environmental issues, both at local and international level. It is the focal point for climate change. It has been weighed down by the real environmental issues, but we lacked a regulator. And I believe this is the best thing that has come at this time, trying to regulate the chaos around the management of our environment. Mr. Speaker, this bill attempts to enhance research on the environment, to create the right think tanks to make sure that contemporary matters, new ways of handling environmental issues are brought to the fore, and the professionals behave in a manner to be updated, to be abreast of the new developments on matters environment. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, it enhances community development in a big way. If this bill passes, there will be a network of professionals that will be collaborating, supporting, and trying to exchange knowledge so that the best practices are the ones at play and will be the tools of trade for this regulator, Mr. Speaker. This body, once passed, shall be a global hub, one that can be engaged for resources, training locally, and driving the requisite change on matters environment and address properly the most complex aspect that the common person, the common wananchi cannot understand. Climate change is so complex. This body is the one that will unpack and make sure that it is understandable to every Kenyan, be they policy makers or government technocrats, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is the body that will be the steward for policy development, advise the government, the institutions, so that we can be able to come with the right policies towards managing, preserving and conserving our environment for sustainable use, Mr. Speaker. On professional development, this is the institute that will be coming with the right packages, just like all other professions, to come up with the new skills, to give them the tools of trade that are developing so that there is no knowledge and skill gap at any one time. So they will be able to update the knowledge base and make sure that professionals in the environment sector are updated and are given the certification so required to make sure that they are at par with the knowledge levels of the times, Mr. Speaker. And finally, for us to live well with all the challenges, the complexities of the climate change, there needs to be a sustainable way of developing our environment, protecting our environment. And that comes with the regulation component, making sure that they have to set the bar in terms of standards, ethics for all actors or professionals of this body. That standards are the ones to be met, and anybody who doesn't meet the standard will be deemed to be a quack and licenses will be withdrawn. So it is a regulator perfectly to make sure that anybody who is within this institute or an environmentalist keeps to the scope and the standards required or expected of him or her. Mr. Speaker, it will also enhance members of this body to be agents of change at whichever level, at their workplace or at any other place they are, to make sure that they foster the change so required, to make sure that our environment is always at the equilibrium. It is not disturbed to the detriment of man. If we don't take care of our environment, the only habitat for man and to live well and safely is planet Earth. Nature is always vindictive. If we distort the balance, all the disasters shall come in full force and en masse. So to make sure that we live in harmony with our environment and make sure that the resources on planet Earth are used wisely and in a sustainable manner, we need a regulator, a prefect, to make sure that all we do, whether it is to industrialize, whether it is farming, all aspects, components of our life evolve around making sure that the environment is always intact and maintained. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I support the motion. Thank you.
Mayaka, I don't know whether you want to take 2 minutes, then, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and yes, I'll be very brief. Honorable Speaker, I want to also support this particular bill and thank the Honorable George Gachagua for even bringing it to the House. Because, Honorable Speaker, having interacted so much with the environmental professions, this is a very important bill because it allows them to have networking opportunities. It allows them to have to be able to even develop further their profession. It allows them to even have certification and shape policy as well. Honorable Speaker, if you pick the example of the professional institutions for accountants, for certified public secretaries, for lawyers, all the institutions that we do have, and the kind of benefits that they get from being able to interact with each other, and even for us who are within the climate change caucus and we want to have an opportunity to enrich the laws that we do have, this will be very important and structured for us to be able to engage with the environmental professions, for us to be able to enrich the laws that we have in this country. So, Honorable Speaker, with those few remarks, I beg to support this bill and I submit. I thank you.
Honorable Gichimu is a chance of 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, I also rise to support this bill by Honorable Gachagua, George Gachagua, member for Ndaragwa. Honorable Speaker, just like many other professions, the legal profession, the engineers, the surveyors, they usually have bodies. They are recognized by Act of Parliament. And this now is a chance for professionals in the environment also to have their law, to bind them together for purposes of registration and guiding their operations. Honorable Speaker, this bill will go a long way in weeding out busybodies and quacks in the environment sector. Because right now, as Kenyans, we don't know exactly who are the registered professionals in the environmental sector. And this bill now will give some order in terms of registration so that we can, once this bill comes into force, into law, then we'll be able to have or to access the database of the professionals who can guide Kenyans in terms of on matters environment. For a long time, matters of environment have only been left to the regulator, that is the National Environment and Management Authority. But if you follow up with them, probably they also don't have the registered professionals. And this bill now comes in handy to address that lacuna that has been existing for a long time. Honorable Speaker, in the legal profession, we also have continuous legal education programs that usually happen. This bill will also provide an opportunity for environmental professions to have engagement, to have continuous training so that they can be able to bring their hands together and deal with the matters of environment. And all of us around us is the environment. We are facing challenges even in matters of climate change. And when these professionals are organized, they are known, probably within those fora, they can be able to come up with ideas and come up with way forward on how to deal with the matters that are also affecting us in the environment, including the matters of the climate change. So, Honorable Speaker, without belaboring the points that have already been canvassed by the mover, the seconder, and other members, I wholly support this bill being a very progressive bill to address the issues of professionals in the environmental sector. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I support.
Thank you. Honourable members, debate on this bill will continue the next time it's laid on the paper. And the time now being 1 or 2 p.m., this House stands adjourned until today afternoon, Wednesday, the 3rd December at 2:30 p.m.